A man practiced bass every day. This is what happened to his forearms. GC is a man presenting to the emergency guitar lesson with extreme pain in his left forearm.
A bassist came to me with forearm pain so bad it was waking him up at night. Now, the medical practitioners among you will be aware that this is not a good thing. I gave him some suggestions to changes to his posture, and the pain cleared up in a matter of days. Then I got some requests for posture videos for bassists, so I'm going to share these ideas with you, although I thought I'd done enough videos about posture and I actually wanted to move on to other things. I'm Michael Bonner. This is Transformed into a Guitar. I'm going to explain why bass guitar is problematic and give you ideas to mitigate these problems. You shouldn't play bass guitar. It's a really bad idea. Here are 2 reasons why. Reason 1, it's heavy. It's a lot of weight to have on one shoulder. I once met a bassist whose posture was like this all of the time. I'm not exaggerating. Reason B, it's very big. Reaching those low notes is hard. Thanks to the strap attachment points, the instrument is usually too far to the left when standing, making it even harder to reach those low notes. If you're small or just have narrow shoulders, it's even worse because you have even further to reach than those who are clavicularly blessed. Sitting in a classical position means the notes are still too far to the left. Sitting with it on the right leg is a whole other kettle of fish. See this video for details about why you shouldn't do that. Here are the conditions you want to meet to make playing as easy as possible on the body. You want the upper arms to be symmetrically aligned and below 40 degrees from the torso to avoid shoulder problems. Having the extremes of the fretboard an equal distance from your left shoulder makes reaching all the notes feel similar. For optimal mechanical advantage and efficient muscle function of the fingers, you want straight-ish wrists. This is bad, and so is this, and this. Well, children, let's do an experiment. Hold up one hand in a loose fist and put 2 fingers of the other hand inside. Squeeze those fingers as hard as you can. Feel the mighty power of your fists of steel. Relax. Now bend your wrist as far as it will go and try squeezing those fingers as hard as you can again. Pathetically weak, right? That's because muscles are strongest in the middle of their contractile range and weak when elongated or shortened. Since many of the muscles involved in this are crossing multiple joints, the reduction of power is really obvious. Using the muscles in their mid-range while doing complicated things is like driving 70 in 4th gear, whereas playing in the weaker ranges is like driving 70 in 2nd gear. The fingers should be roughly perpendicular to the fretboard for optimum force transferal. I don't want to go into the reasons for that in this video, so just trust me, I'm a doctoral candidate. Don't worry about finger fanning, this is normal and can't be avoided, so don't even try. This is something I usually have to remind students of a few times. Don't worry about finger fanning, this is normal and can't be avoided, so don't even try. How I position my classical guitar means that most of the time the joints from my shoulders to my fingers are in the middle of their range, which is where joints prefer to be.
It's true, innit? We do, don't we?
I couldn't agree more.
So,
Michael, are you using yourself as an example of perfection? It's probably best if you say no.
let's look at 3 ways of meeting these criteria. Number 1, learn a different instrument. Singing has potential for great posture, so does playing the ocarina, and you don't need to stress your lips with all that embouchure nonsense. Number 2, get a different strap. There's a duo strap which spreads the weight across both shoulders. I only recently heard of these thanks to a commenter. Back when I was playing bass for a band, I made my own, which you can see here. The second strap is attached at the button in the normal way and then joined somewhere around the middle of the shoulders with washers and a nut and bolt. Somehow I lost this and made an even simpler one, which you can see in my recent playing videos. Using a very worn out belt, I simply looped the buckle over the end of the strap. This bit is wide enough to hold it in place. The other end is attached near the middle of the shoulders with a safety pin. Any wide strip of fabric will do, and you could use pins at both ends. Number C. Fit a strap button at the 7th fret. This really helped me and my students. This is covered in part 6 of my posture series, as is how to stand well while playing, so go and check that out. Number 4. Sit. I don't normally advocate sitting, but it definitely helps to take the weight off the shoulders.
Maybe you just need to man up.
That's not a helpful attitude. Although if you want to play standing, you should start with short periods and build up slowly. Anyway, here are some ideas for sitting. Sit on a firm chair with a similar chair beside you. Rest the bout of the guitar on the second chair. The downside here is that, like any sitting position, what the hell do you do with your right arm? You can either relax your right shoulder and let your wrist bend, risking things like carpal tunnel syndrome and Dekovan's tenosynovitis, or you have to hold your elbow up to keep your wrist straight. Standing allows you to have a lower right hand, which takes the stress off the shoulder. If you're using sheet music...
You're having a laugh, ain't ya? Guitarists can't read music.
If you're using sheet music, put the stand at eye height to discourage slump. See this excellent video for information about the best placement. If you play in groups, you may not be able to use these ideas all the time, but hopefully you find these things helpful some of the time. Take care and happy twanging.